Here's why you play Leomord, the Sworn Sword, in the jungle. First off, he possesses high burst damage, allowing him to quickly take down enemies, especially when they are below half health. He has excellent mobility with dashes that help him reposition and chase down enemies. Leomord also shines in team fights as his ultimate gives him a strong AoE presence and durability. However, Leomord relies heavily on his ultimate to reach his full potential and has limited early game power compared to other junglers. Leomord's passive, the Oath Keeper. Leomord's basic attacks are guaranteed to crit against enemies below 50% HP, dealing additional damage. Additionally, for every 1% crit chance gain, Leomord converts it into 2 physical attack, enhancing his damage potential as he builds crit-based items, though I don't recommend that because it's definitely not optimal. Leomord's first skill, Momentum, grants Leomord a shield and starts channeling, slowing enemies in the target direction. When the channeling ends or is interrupted, he thrusts his sword forward, dealing damage based on how long he charged the skill. The final attack slows enemies further for a short duration. This skill can be recasted early to stop the channeling manually. Leomord's second skill, the Submission Assault, dashes forward, dealing damage to all enemies in his path and slowing them. This skill serves as both an engagement and escape tool, allowing him to reposition in fights or chase down fleeing enemies. Leomord's ultimate, Phantom Steed, summons Barbiel, who charges forward, knocking back and damaging all enemies in his path. If Barbiel reaches Leomord, he enters mounted state, gaining movement speed, defense, and a new set of enhanced skills. While mounted, his basic attacks deal AoE damage and can be used while moving. Leomord's mounted first skill, Phantom Storm. Barbiel jumps forward, dealing AoE damage and slowing enemies on landing. Leomord's mounted second skill, Phantom Charge, charges in a direction, knocking back and damaging all enemies in his path. A typical skill combo for Leomord is to start by casting his ultimate, allowing Barbiel to knock back enemies while he prepares to mount. Before mounting, he can use his first and second skill to poke or control enemies. Once mounted, use enhanced first skill for AoE slow, then follow up by enhanced second skill to knock enemies back. From there, continuously use his enhanced basic attacks to deal massive AoE damage. Moving on to builds, Ashley built Ice Retribution Tough Boots, Hunter Strike, Blade of Despair, Sea Halberd, Endless Battle, and finally Immortality. These are the emblems that go along with this build. As for battle spells, Retribution is essential for Leomord Jungle, as it is essential for jungle farming and securing objectives. Leomord is effective against mages without mobility such as Odette, Farsa, Eve, and Sicilian since they lack escape tools to deal with his high movement speed and burst damage. However, Leomord struggles against CC heavy heroes like Phoveus, Franco, Akai, and Nana as they can disrupt him before he can enter his mounted state. Leomord works well with heroes that provide AoE damage or crowd control such as Farsa and Vexana, who can capitalize on the chaos he creates. You should upgrade first skill at level 1 and max it first. Upgrade second skill as a backup, and most importantly, upgrade his ultimate whenever available. Leomord's power spike begins once he gets his ultimate, so focus on farming efficiently in the early game. While in mounted form, uses enhanced basic attacks as much as possible since they hit multiple enemies and allow him to move while attacking. Positioning is key. Enter fights at the right moment to avoid getting locked down by CC. His first skill provides a shield and slow, so use it before engaging to absorb damage. In jungle fights, use his second skill to reposition or chase fleeing enemies. Always be mindful of when to use his ultimate, as timing it properly can determine the outcome of a fight. That's all for Leomord as a jungler. Master his abilities, time his ultimate wisely, and dominate team fights with its overwhelming damage and mobility.